I like to talk about socialization.
Okay.
So, I think you have to balance the need for socialization with the risk of disease transmission, right?
Okay.
For example, me, the safest thing in the world for me to do is live inside a glass bubble, and if I never interact with anybody, I'm never going to get sick.
That's how,
My social skills would diminish considerably, right? Same thing here. The safest thing for her is to never go outside and never interact with another dog, but however, she's not going to be socialized.
Okay.
We live in a blessed society, right? If we were down in South Georgia from where I'm from, I wouldn't be saying this. But we are in a blessed society. The majority of people around here vaccinate their dogs. The sidewalks are clean. They pick up after themselves, etc. Okay? So I think when you're, balancing those two things, I think value or kind of socialize more than normal. Okay.
Oh, okay.
So I want you to take this dog everywhere that you can.
Okay.
If you have a friend that has a dog that's fully vaccinated, let them play together.
Okay.
If you want to go on a walk in your neighborhood and you bump into another dog, let them chat. It's fine. Go to restaurants that allow dogs. Go sit outside at a restaurant allowing Lowe's, Home Depot, Home Goods. They all allow dogs. Overexpose them, because right now our brain is very pliable, and so the more people, places, and things that we see, the better off we're going to be. Have people come to your house, knock on the door, ring the doorbell, because what you do not want is a dog that nobody has come to your house in a year, right? And we're 1 year old, and then all of a sudden the doorbell rings and 3 new people walk in. She's gonna be like, "What is this?"
Right.
And she's gonna lose her mind, right? So you want to expose her to these things. Car rides, like I don't know, you got a second home up in the mountains or whatever. Like, start doing those things, right? If you want to be a lake dog, like go start doing water, right? Don't like throw them in the water, right? But just like start to slowly introduce these things. So try to think about where you're going to be at in a year, 2, 3 years, and try to slowly start to introduce those things.
Okay.
There are 2 exceptions to this rule. And that is where there are dense populations of dogs, okay? That is where you can get diseases, right? So where there are a lot of dogs in a small space. That is boarding facilities, dog parks. Stay away from those until you're fully vaccinated.
Okay.
Everywhere else, you're good.
Everywhere else. So if we want to walk around the concrete in our neighborhood?
1,000%. No, listen, a dog that has parvo comes and poops on the sidewalk, and then your dog comes up and eats that poop, yes, it is going to get parvo.
Okay.
The likelihood of that happening is pretty low.
Yeah, and we watch.
And if you see poop, just like steer it. We talk about vaccines, talk about socialization, potty training, okay? So potty training is all about positive reinforcement, okay? I know you got pee pad. I don't mind pee pads. I'm gonna play a little bit of devil's advocate here. If the goal is for them to use the bathroom outside, you are providing an excuse for them not to do that, right? And so it can be a little bit confusing for them, like, hey, I'm going outside to pee, but it's also okay for me to pee on this pad. If you're always going to have a pad forever for the rest of time, like, hey, that doesn't matter. But if the goal is to be outside, then I would try to like encourage that as much as you can.
So even as a backup, don't use the pee pad.
I don't know, and I know that's like that's asking a lot of you, because that means you got clean carpet, clean floors, right? But I encourage you to like put yourself in her shoes, right? And it's like, oh well, I can pee here, and then I can't, but then I'm going to take this away. And like, well, why can't I pee here now?
That makes sense.
Here now.
That makes sense.
So the key to this is positive reinforcement. Okay. Find does she like treats or food?
Yeah, she likes the pup for beef and liver. Yeah.
So find a very small like training treat. Okay. And I want you to reserve that for potty training. So she never gets it unless she is outside and you are with her on a leash. She pees or poops. You give her lots of verbal praise, and you give her that high value treat right then and there. They need instant gratification, right? And so do not wait until you come back inside, right? Because then she's like, oh, I'm getting a treat for coming back inside, right? She's not developed enough to understand like, oh, I'm getting this treat because I went outside and peed and then came back inside. Right? So give it right then and there, lots of verbal praise, and that's just anytime they're doing something you want them to do, you reward them with a positive experience, they're going to pick up on that and keep doing it. I'm not saying that negative reinforcement It works. It's, like, hey, they, shove their nose in or whatever they used to, you know what I mean? Like, it technically works. It's just not as efficient and as useful as positive reinforcement.
Okay.
Right? So, positive, not negative. There's a place for negative, right? But like not in this sense.
Okay.
Okay.
Understand.
Okay. So,